All right. How's it going, guys? Good to be here. Good to have you here. Good to do some more Virtue's Last Reward. Hello there. Let's see who might be in chat today. Hello Pama. Hello Super Drops. Hello Wada. Hello Simeon. Hello Suika. Oh, hey Drops. That's awesome. And hello to Gecko too, and anybody else who might be out there lurking. So let's see. Can we finish this game today? I'm not sure. I hope so. But basically, we can think a bit of it as, just another attempt at finishing this game. I think, I think we actually got a shot today. I'm not saying we'll definitely do it, but I think we got a shot. So last time, if you remember, I think the biggest twist or the biggest thing that happened last time was us finding out that we are, in fact, after all, Zero Senior. We are the bad guy, or are we? Oh, hey, Vikitty. Day off? How come you're here so early? I'm gonna assume it's your day off. So yeah, so we found that out, and it was quite a big shocker. But they explained it in a way that sort of makes sense with different, like, I don't know, looping timelines and all kinds of shit. And if I remember right, we were just about to stop after a nice little explanation on the different timelines and different, like, critical points in history. And after Sigma finds this out, day off, I see. Oh, nice. Have bone up the teeth, the kitty. Have fun. So we found all of that out. We also know that K is definitely. We now know the relationship between K and Sigma. We know that K is Sigma's clone, and that's why he looks exactly like him when he was younger. I still haven't figured out completely why. Like, how come we're old now, and why does that mean that we weren't actually kidnapped then? It just means that our consciousness was switched then when the gas was set off in our car. I'm not sure. Oh, hey Suika. And hey there, Meatwagon. Great to see you. Suika, I wanted to ask you, since we talked, actually never mind, I'll talk to you about that later. So I think that's it. And there is, after knowing all of that, there's one more thing that Sigma wanted Akane to tell him. Oh yeah, also Akane has been K for the last timeline. For this specific timeline, she disguised herself as him and pretended to be him. So here we go. Tell me one thing.
What is that?
Okay, if anybody doesn't remember, wasn't here, this is basically the timeline. We went, if we go from the bottom, we go to point A, to when Sigma was kidnapped. Then Sigma traveled his consciousness, more appropriately, let's see if I remember this right, traveled to the future at point B, like, I don't know, 60-something, 50-something years into the future, and to where we are. We woke up in this game. Soon, we'll reach point C, in which we go all the way back to point D. Point D, if I remember right, is, yeah, that's when basically a whole bunch of atomic bombs, or something even worse, like 18 atomic bombs, went off around the world and basically destroyed most of it. So we're going to try to do that. After that, we are going back to, I guess, actually, I'm already confused, so fuck it, forget about it. Oh, hey, Golf. Doomsday, yeah, but forget about it. If you really want to understand, you don't need to listen to me. Just like watch Akane's explanation from the previous stream. I think that'll be better. Oh yeah, there's a switcheroo when we're in the same timeline and the same history line, and we go back and forward in time using our consciousness. Then we kind of switch consciousness with the Sigma from the other time, meaning that if we now switch our consciousness into and go into the future, then the consciousness from our future goes into the past, which is kind of the plan. Like, we had to go forward into this game so older Sigma, who knows all of this, can go back to the past with all of his knowledge, but use younger Sigma's body in order to stop the catastrophe. So, what we want to know is, well, you said that point C is January 27th, 2074, which is today. There's going to be a jump, and I'll jump back to April 13th, 2029.
Yes, that's right.
But look, I'm still old. When is this jump supposed to happen? Well, obviously not yet, Sigma. Oh, also, yeah, it's been like, well, it's not completely confirmed, but I don't remember who suggested it last stream. What does gravity have to do with that? Yeah, and about Radical 6, someone, I don't remember who, but suggested last stream that because of the Radical 6, that's why Sigma is also so dumb, since he only operates like 40% capacity of his normal intelligence, apparently. So that might be some kind of explanation to why Sigma is such a fucking bumbling idiot throughout this entire game. And I think it kind of works.
Very soon.
Soon?
Yes.
How soon is now? And what's going to trigger it?
We need potential energy stored to send your consciousness into the fourth dimension.
Wouldn't they all be bumbling idiots in that case? Well, maybe? I don't know. Maybe they're all, like, regularly much smarter than him. Sigma's just dumb or autistic. Okay, fair enough. I guess that's just as possible. Potential energy stored. Okay.
Fortunately, we now have plenty of that.
What?
Thanks, ironically, to Radical 6.
How?
All that remains is to launch your consciousness, like a bullet from a slingshot.
And how do you propose to do that?
Didn't I tell you? A crisis.
Are they gonna, like, she's gonna kill someone? Or threaten to kill someone if I don't jump, and that's gonna trigger it? What's that? Does this mean another Sigma could switch into us at any time, or are we the Prime Sigma? I'm not sure. I think we're both... I think that in the end there's only one Sigma, just at different points. But yes, supposedly, as far as I understand, supposedly another Sigma from another universe could jump into our body at any point, at any time. Even if they all think slowly, they all come to the same conclusions faster than him. Yeah, actually, that's true. That's a fair point, Suika. So how much dude's going to kill everyone? I don't think so, Meatwagon. Dio is chained up in the infirmary and probably asleep. I think we're safe on that count.
A moment balanced between life and death. That can jumpstart your brain.
Okay, so who's gonna be in jeopardy? Us? The rest? What do you mean?
You haven't figured it out.
Huh?
I mean this.
She pulls out a gun. Or a Myrmidon's knife. Dio's knife? Who's she gonna kill? Herself? Sigma? The plants? No sooner were the words out of my mouth. Oh, Phi! Phi! I screamed and leapt toward them. Akane was already in motion, the knife diving towards Phi's chest. I was almost there. When I regained consciousness, I was on the floor. Did she stab him? Instead, there was a dull pain in my chest. I felt for a cut, but something was in the way. It took me a moment to realize that it was Akane's body lying on top of me. Who was stabbed? I twisted my neck to look around. Nearby was an old tombstone. On it was written a few words in Latin. Tu fui ego eris. What you are, I was. Is this the point where Sigma, like, yeah, well, Sigma dies? What I am, you will be. This is how Sigma dies? No. What? So did we jump or not? What's going... Was that the ending? 11 minutes? That's how long it took me to get to the ending? Are you shitting me? What is this? Don't panic, okay. "11 minutes, including my fucking opening monologue talking about how long I think it's gonna take me to finish this." Oh, nice picture of Alice there. There's some more. Short stream, yeah, apparently so. No, but we do know, well, there's a couple things we want to do, really. Yeah, there's the hidden ending, which isn't, oh, it's not canon? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, but yeah, I wanted to check out the hidden ending, because this isn't really an ending, right? It's like almost a to-be-continued ending. What's coming next? Well, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. You can vote on the poll. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, or Steam. And also, there's the code from the Myrmidons that I wanted to check out. Remember Luna's password? Yeah, who was it? Chairs, I think, told me last stream, too. He kind of hinted at it, I suppose, at some point. Because backwards it's, wait. Oh, that's the music. I thought they were gonna pull... What? This music is, like, totally out of character for this game. And we've never heard it so far. This is super weird. But yeah, it's I love Klim or something. I thought it was an anagram for I love milk. I wasn't talking about gravity, I was talking about infinity, Suika. You should record your end speech and just replay it. Yeah, that would save some time. I love Kiln. But the thing I don't understand, like, I know it's Luna that gives it to us. No, wait, actually it's not. It's... Well, it's the terminal's password, but do we know... Why do you call it Luna's password? I thought that the terminal or the computer would be used by Sigma and Akane. Doing a real robot-y voice? A new destination, of course. Phi ending. I can't believe that's Phi ending. We don't know anything about Phi yet. The user we logged into the terminal was Luna's ID. Her serial number was the login. Oh, I understand it now. Aww. Poor Luna, so pure. Oh, so now we're going way back to the past. Okay, let's do this. Headquarters, April 13th, 2029. Which headquarters, though? Yeah, we Samurai Jack now. April. So is this after
Today
the explosion?
is April 13th, 2029, and this is the evening news. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I don't have any news to read.
Is she gonna kill herself?
All of our station's reporters have passed after contracting Radical 6. So have my... Excuse me.
Takes out a gun.
I've managed to keep us on the air until now. But I'm out of tricks.
You know, you gotta appreciate someone, me IRL. You gotta appreciate someone as professional as this newscaster, like setting up an entire, getting up in front, like taking the effort to get up in front of the camera just to say, well, I got nothing. What happened after the ending? We just, like, a new path was opened, Meatwagon, before everything. We're now in April 13th, 2029. And that's it. We just got here and the news started.
It's time for me to sign off. This concludes our broadcast day. I pray that someday our world can be cleansed of this horrible plague. Goodbye.
Click. Boom. Yeah, see you later. For a moment I just stared at the TV. The roar of the static seemed to fill the entire room, until with a click it disappeared too. Had the power gone out? I heard footsteps behind me and turned around. Wait, but if we're back here, if this is like sort of chronological right now, from at least from the Sigma's consciousness point of view, then that means that he went back to the past, and that between December 25th of last year and April 13th of this year, old Sigma was in charge of this body. But he didn't do anything. Like, he failed, didn't he? If we were back here and everything's normal, that means he failed. He didn't stop Radical 6, and he seems like he's not gonna stop the bombs. Oh wow, look at that fucking cloak. You. Wait, is this us, or are we looking at the guy with the mask? Akane? Of course. Akane? So Akane kidnapped us.
It looks like the first step was successful.
What the fuck? You killed me!
Killed?
I guess technically you're going to kill me 45 years from now, but still.
Hey, no need to be rude about it.
Well, one of the thing is that no one knew who she was until she put on the mask. So that's why. And if you... I'm not sure, but well, I thought that if you take it down it will kill her, but apparently not. But it seems that it's extremely painful for us, at least.
I didn't kill you.
Well, yeah, Akane's voice actress, when she's younger, is much nicer than the older voice actress, because she was, like, so fucking patronizing all the time. It was annoying.
I hit you with the butt of the knife. You're fine.
Oh, so you just had a heart attack? I'm dying. I'm okay.
Yes. You and Phi needed to experience a state of crisis. That was the only way.
Me and Phi? So where's Phi right now?
Yes. I only told you about you, but we also needed Phi to jump.
Is the time loop still stable, or did you kill Future? No, apparently Future Us isn't dead. And we didn't get stabbed, we only thought we got stabbed. And that triggered the time jump. The fact that we thought we were in a life and death situation. Okay, so we're in the... yeah, we got a bunch of these.
Now, you know what happens next, right?
I got no clue. We go to the moon?
Correct.
But why? Aren't we supposed to, like, stop everything? What's the point of this, then? I don't get this plan.
We will be leaving tomorrow, April 14th, 2029. We've nearly finished preparing your shuttle. Only a few last-minute checks and additions. You'll be traveling to Rhizome 9, along with 3 treatment pods.
Alice and Clover, right? Okay, so they're both still kidnapped.
Yes.
What about the third one? Well, aren't we isn't today, or aren't we around the date where the Annihilation reactors explode? And I can't remember all of the dates, but I'm pretty sure we went back to when the Annihilation reactors exploded, and I thought that we did... I don't know. It's too confusing for me right now. What about the third one? Who's in there? Phi?
Phi.
Okay.
We put her into cold sleep 2 days ago. She appeared at our headquarters and volunteered to be frozen.
Okay, well at least now I know for sure that Phi is from the past and not from the future. So are we far too late to stop the pandemic? Well, yeah, I know about the pandemic. I thought they were supposed to, like, not stop the pandemic, but still stop the explosions. But it seems, but if it's happening this very day, it seems too late for that too. But then again, I thought that's what, like, older Sigma was supposed to do when he went back to the past. Like, he knew everything that was going to happen, so he could go back, use his younger body to stop either the explosions or the pandemic. But apparently none of it. I'm not sure what I guess he just, like, prepped everything in the past couple of months.
That wasn't the Phi who jumped from point C, though.
Okay.
It was Phi before she jumped from point A to point D.
She jumped from point A to... Okay.
In other words, she was following the same path you are. And she still is.
But we don't know why, though. We don't know anything about Phi, really. Then that means that after you froze her, the point C version of her jumped back into her body.
Yes.
And now she's sleeping. Okay.
The Point C version of Phi is sleeping in that pod.
Point C version is the one that we've been with throughout the game so far.
She'll stay there for the next 45 years.
I wonder if... And that's how... Okay, and she gets to the game, and she gets back to point C just regularly, like without jumping, and that's how she knows our name and everything. Because she actually already remembers everything that happened, because she already lived through it. But is she gonna jump back over there? I'm not sure. Is she stuck in a loop now then, Phi? Is she just destined to get back to point C and jump back to point A over and over, to point D over and over again?
Sleeping in ice.
Then when she gets to point B, her consciousness will jump to point A, right? Oh, point B is when we started the game. And she'll jump back to point A. And do something other than... and then come and volunteer to be frozen. We don't know what that is, though. That's super weird, too.
Correct.
Huh. So that's why she didn't look old. So why don't you just stick me in one of those pods?
We can't do that.
Why not?
You haven't figured it out? You have to spend the next 45 years working on the AB project.
Ugh.
After arriving at Rhizome 9, you must master genetic engineering and artificial intelligence programming,
Oh shit, that's
among
a good...
other disciplines.
That's a good theory, Drops. But wouldn't we have recognized her voice? Maybe not, because we didn't recognize the answers with Akane, even though it's been a while. I know, but it's a good theory. I kind of want to go back and listen to that tape now, and see if the voice is kind of similar to Phi's. Yeah, Gecko, it's easy. We're well, once we know... Well, isn't it... Zip Slips, the kitty. So we're mastering genetic engineering and AR programming. Yeah, well, isn't the fact that we already know that we're supposed to do it... No wonder it took 45 years. Isn't the fact that we know that we already did it enough to, like, give us the motivation we need to go and actually do it? Should play Zero Time Dilemma? Oh yeah, it's on the poll, the kitty. It's on my requested games poll, so eventually we'll get there.
Otherwise, you will be unable to create Kyle, Luna, and Lagomorph. And, of course, you will need to develop the chromatic doors and the bracelets.
And what are you gonna do until then?
You will also be the person who summons Tenmyoji and Quark. Once you've completed all the preparations, then the project can actually begin. January 25th, 2074. You will defrost Phi and carry her to the third AB room. Once you've done that, the 22-year-old version of you from point A will force you out.
You know, it really kind of feels like Akane is really the mastermind, and Sigma is just like, huh? What? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I did it already in a different timeline? Okay, then I guess I'll do it again. I'll just listen to you, Akane, even though I don't know you. I don't know if you have any ulterior motives or anything.
And you'll just go back 45 years to your own body on December 25th, 2028.
Yeah, when she kidnaps us. But what's he gonna do then, though? And then I can change... And then I change history? Obviously not. Because it would have happened already. Do you really think I can keep the virus from getting out?
You have to.
Hasn't this all already happened, though? Like, aren't we... Like, wouldn't it have already happened if it could have happened?
If you don't, billions of people will die. Only you and Phi can save them.
Doesn't Phi seem a little young though to be like a potential astronaut? Because the Nevada test site was like a test to see if those people can. Maybe it's not the same. It's supposed to be the same people though. Maybe the people on the test site weren't actually astronauts. But I think that maybe if they were, then Phi seems kind of young to be like a potential astronaut or astronaut in training. What about you? Aren't you an Esper too?
I can't do anything on my own. If this is going to work, I'll need your help.
It's multiple loops stacked on top of each other. Okay, that's again, that's when I leave it. The solution to the grandfather paradox. Yeah, but he used big words. Those words were way too big for me, Super Drops. Oh, so Zero Time Dilemma continues the story of the Radical Six. I was wondering if it'll continue this or it'll be like a standalone thing. Like, this doesn't really continue the story of 999. It's just a completely new arc. So, what do I need to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what specific actions do I need to take? When Phi and I jump to point A, what are we going to do then?
You'll both enter the Mars mission test site.
Okay. And then maybe Phi kills Sigma and everybody else? But if she kills him, can she kill? I don't know. Maybe it's like I said, like one of those things, like in Prisoner of Azkaban, where they still make the message, they still record a message as if the virus is out, but it's actually not, and that's how everything stays intact. And after that,
I don't know.
what?
I'm sorry.
Can you just like jump over there and tell us?
I really don't know anything about what happens in there. We don't know how the Radical Six escaped. We don't even know why it was there in the first place.
Obviously something to do with Free the Soul. Oh crap. Then we're screwed.
That's why we need your help. You have the ability to jump through time and across parallel worlds.
But you too.
We need you to figure out
And
what
fight
happened
too.
in that test facility. Things will be difficult. And I'm sure you will find yourself in a great deal of danger.
Super Drops, I bet you're Super Drops and Suika. I bet they're both like the type of people who watched Primer and immediately understood everything that happened, and like didn't need to rewatch the movie, didn't need to like read online about it. They just like one watch and they realized everything. Yeah, Primer. Haven't you heard about it? It's a great little sci-fi movie. Great little movie. Extremely low on budget. The main actor is also the director and composer and editor and cinematographer and pretty much everything. He did it. Yeah, he did it in a tiny budget, like I don't know, like $7,000 or something like that, something completely ridiculous. And it treats time travel in the most realistic way I've ever seen, including like the reactions of people who discover time travel. Yeah, something absolutely ridiculous. About 7,000, I think, dollars. He made a feature film because like he's the main role. All the other actors are like his friends. He did like almost half of the. He was almost half of the crew. Yeah, exactly. Super Drops. That's it. That's the one. And it's got a lot of time loops and shit too. It's a really cool film. Highly recommend it if you like sci-fi films and time travel films. It's really, really well made.
But I believe the two of you can overcome any obstacle.
And I think I read once online, obviously after like watching the movie and reading online about it, I think I saw that someone wrote somewhere that if someone claims to understand Primer, to understand everything that happened in Primer after the first viewing, they're either a genius or they're lying. Something like that. I remember briefly coming across it years ago in a review video. Well, you should check it out. It would actually be a pretty fun thing to stream on Safe Street Heroes at some point. It's not a schlock movie, it's an actual good movie, but it's fun. It's a fun one, definitely. Wait, how do you know it's so dangerous?
The 67-year-old version of you told me what happened.
So you do know what happened!
He wasn't able to stop the virus.
Well, yeah, supposedly, yeah, it drops, but I don't know, maybe, like, they're specific espers, or maybe they're brother and sister, somehow. I don't know how, but maybe they're sort of brother and sister, and they have a link, and then they can work together? I'm not sure, though.
So I suppose you could say you told me after you failed.
What did I say?
That the test facility is full of traps. There was one point, a woman's life was in danger.
Why won't I just, like, why won't Sigma just, like, tell what happened so she can tell the younger Sigma and make it work? Well, obviously we survive, but if that's what I don't understand it. Like, maybe it's the loop upon loop, but obviously, Gecko, there's like a conspiracy here or something. I don't think we're trying to kill me, but what I don't understand is that if older Sigma came back and Akane talked to him and he told her about what happened, first of all, why didn't he tell her, like, in detail what happened? Second of all, if that happened, then the change already happened, or maybe it's again a loop upon a loop. I'm not sure.
You risked yourself for her sake, and lost your arms and your right eye.
Well, no, I'm not saying the Phi and Sigma are on the same level, Super Drops. I'm saying that maybe there's like a special connection between them that lets each of them still use their Esper abilities and not sap it from one another. I'm not sure though, since the whole sapping thing and empowering other Espers thing is kind of new. They only just introduced it here, and they haven't really elaborated on that. It's hard to tell. Oh, Suika said it. Well, I don't know, honestly. Suika would know better than me. My arm's in my right eye? Oh, so that's how he lost them. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Wait! Wait, when did this happen? Oh, so this'll... Wait, what? So it already happened, actually. A woman's life was in danger, you risked yourself for her sake, and you lost your arms and your right eye. So it already happened. I'm so confused. Suddenly, a low rumble shook the building. Oh, that's probably the explosion, right? Yep, goodbye world. What was that?
Go have a look.
I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. I moved slowly to the window and peered outside. On the horizon, I could see a massive mushroom cloud climbing slowly toward the sky. Would we really be able to change the course of history? But I'm gonna stop arguing. No, that was the wrong way to look at it. It couldn't be a question. I had to change history. We could save the world. I'm going to change history. I stared at the darkening skies above us and steeled myself. I would succeed. Okay, that was a pretty nice epilogue, I guess. I'm assuming this is the end then? And or begin. Oh yeah, even the devs aren't sure anymore. Let's save again, I suppose. Wait, so that's it? That's the end of the game? No, there's still... Oh, there we go. Infirmary another time. And this is supposedly non-canon, right? The gates kind of had... Well, yeah, tell me about it, Good Golf. My brain is fucking melting here. Okay, hold on. I do wanna... Okay, let's go and start this. I do wanna, like, translate the Myrmidon's code, though, first. Kind of curious about that. Because I think we've already seen especially if this is not canon, I think we can... Well, the sequel retcons a few details. Yeah, well, I guess same as, like, this retcon a few details in 999. Causing new holes, I see. Well, it's ever... Well, you know, when you deal with so many fucking timelines and loops and timey-wimey shit and, I don't know, Esper shit, it's kind of hard to keep... Well, that's no excuse, really. Anyhow, let's get in here. Do secret ending first? Okay.
Where?
What? Is that Sigma's voice?
I see you've finally woken up, Kyle.
Oh, we're K. Okay. Which is actually, K would have the same voice as Sigma, wouldn't he? Since they're clones. I wrote an advice book once for sci-fi authors that deal with time travel. Oh, why did you tell them? Don't. Yep, that sounds about right.
Kyle.
Ah, yes. Of course. You've only just woken up in this timeline. It's only natural for some of your memories to be missing.
Also, if... Well, I'm guessing the Espers thing is kinda... Welcome up. Hey, Chairs. How's it going? So... Well, I guess they're not talking about this, but I'm assuming that Sigma's ability did not transfer into K, even though he's his clone, meaning that there's something that is unclonable that gives them this ability. It's going? Okay, well, it's better than not going. I hope it's gonna go better, though, because it sounds like it's not going as best as it could. I lurched upright, jumped off the bed, and ran around to the other side of the partition. The mirror over the sink was covered with a film of dirt. Oh, it was going good. Okay, good. Happy to hear that. Sigma did just jump into K. What do you mean by that, Suika? That was really that new to you? Oh, you mean like time travel concept? Why? Where have you encountered them? Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Ever 17. I'm gonna look that up. Interesting. If it gave you enough familiarity with like timey-wimey bullshit to get through this, you know, unfazed pretty much, it seems, that should be a very interesting read. I'll look that up. Pretty much, Pama. It's not stream material? Oh no, I'm not gonna read it on stream. I'm not gonna talk about it too. I'm just gonna look it up later. Just was wondering about that. Remember the same guy? Supposedly quite good. Same guy as what? Oh, same guy that wrote this? Really? Interesting. I wouldn't have imagined he would also wrote books, but interesting. Okay. I wiped it off with my sleeve and my reflection stared back at me. Same guy who wrote all of these. Wow. Okay. Is it better, Suika? Or no, I'm not gonna say better, but is it more? Does it have less plot holes? Oh, it's a visual novel. Oh, because he said red. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, so a book, pretty much. A book with more pictures than most books. No, imagine so you also wrote books. This is a book with some puzzles. Yeah, I guess you're right. Though it's a different format, like Drops, you should know that like writing it is different media. Writing a book cannot be the same as writing a game. And yeah, this is a choose your own adventure, making it very, very different than just a book that you read from beginning to end. Yeah, Suika has a point here though. This is way more complex than your regular average linear book. Anyhow, there was no mistake. the reflection belonged to.
Kyle Climb. So, I'm Dr. Climb? Zero Senior's clone?
What? How do you know that? Shouldn't you still be suffering from amnesia?
An excellent question, one I didn't quite know the answer to myself. I knew who Kyle Climb was. In another history, he had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. Okay, so I'm guessing the non-canon part is that Sigma can time travel between clones as well. Oh, well, jump between clones. Which would make you think, if that's the case... Well, I'm not sure if this is the non-canon thing or no, because it just makes me think, does that mean that maybe the left clones can, like, I don't know, maybe one of them can jump consciousness between the others as well? I'm not sure, though. Timenesia. Thank you, Gecko. Yeah, that's the best word for it, I think. In another history, had been called K and had worn a suit of armor. He hadn't just worn the armor in that history, though. Apparently, he'd worn it all his life. Kyle had been born and raised in this lunar installation, which seemed to be called Rhizome 9. Rather late in his life, Akane had appeared as a mother figure, and he had consequently grown very attached to her. I knew everything about him. But even though I knew it, I didn't feel it. Well, I think supposedly yes, Cheers, but again, I'm not, like, part of this isn't supposed to be canon. Maybe it's more like a what if thing. Was I really Kyle Climb? Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw his face. Well, to be fair, Super Drops, she's the only woman he's ever met until he was 18. So, it's either... And you know, he probably had some... What's the word? Forgot the name. The Greek guy who killed his mom. Come on. I just forgot the word for a second. I looked down. Oh! There was Dio, still handcuffed. So which timeline is it? Well, it's hard to tell. I turned back around to Luna.
What day is today?
Oh, okay. This is... I'm assuming this is K after they removed him from the treatment pod, after they defrosted him.
January 27th, 2074.
And today is the last day of the AB project. Akane has explained everything in the garden. And she drew a knife and attacked Phi. How long have I been asleep?
About 5 hours in real time. For them, it would have seemed like a little more than 2 hours.
So they still haven't been treated for their Radical 6?
No, they've all been given the antiviral.
Oh, okay.
It just takes a while to have an effect.
Oh, I see. So the consciousness of the younger Sigma has gone back into the past. It should have happened right after Akane attacked Phi, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is actually nice.
Why am I here?
Summing up everything that happened and letting us know what happened to the rest of them, I guess.
The doctor carried you back here. You were in the pod in the garden.
So the person you call the Doctor is Sigma Climb, as inhabited by his age-appropriate consciousness.
Yes, but how do you know that?
Dio seems to have remained unconscious.
Yes. I've been administering Soparil whenever he gets restless.
Nice. Did he also get treated for Radical 6, I wonder?
What about the others?
They've all gone off to different areas. Tenmyoji and Quark, for instance.
Oh, right. Mr. Klein.
So the sleepyhead's finally up, huh?
What are you two doing here?
You don't know where we are?
This is the upper floor of the pressure exchange chamber. The real one.
Mm-hmm.
We were just about to get dressed and head out.
You plan to return them? To Earth, I mean.
Yeah.
Sigma told us where we could find the shuttle that brought us here.
Temiyoji literally has nothing to live for anymore, huh? He found Akane, that's it. And now he's just gonna go to Earth, so I guess it wasn't as fulfilling as he imagined it for the past 45 or so years.
Well, guess he's not really the Sigma I knew anymore. He's Dr. Klein now, or Zero Senior, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Well, I'm just curious why you would choose to return to a devastated planet when you could stay here.
How's staying here gonna help? You aren't gonna say something idiotic about how we should wait here until Sigma changes the past, are you? You can't wait for something that's already happened.
If it's already happened, then why hasn't it happened?
Grammar doesn't work that way. Hell, nature doesn't work that way. You following me? We've already lived through history. Sigma failed to keep the virus from getting out. About 45 years ago, Radical 6 created a pandemic, and the antimatter reactors blew up. That all happened.
Yeah, so he failed.
Whatever Sigma does in the past, history's not going to change. In fact, it's because of what he did or didn't do in the past that we've got this past and present. Let me give you an example. Imagine a group of 100 motorcycles driving down an endless freeway. Eventually, they hit a junction.
Wait, hold on, I just remembered. Termites had nothing to do with all of this. Nor aliens. Like, Zero Senior was talking about, like, fucking termites and shit. For what? That was fucking nothing? I was sure there was actually gonna be, like, termites in this. It was the biggest ruse. Nothing to do with termites. I just realized. Like, I kept waiting. God damn it. Wow. And no aliens, no, like, different dimensions, and that's... Well, yeah, there is actually the fourth dimension. For giant termite boss. Actually, I would take that, Gecko. I would take some nice simplicity right about now.
The road splits in two. One freeway continues off northwest, and the other stretches out to the northeast.
It's just all these dumb stories that suddenly was reminded of them.
So one guy, we'll call him S, pipes up. "Let's go northwest," he says. So they take the northwestern road, but about a mile past the intersection, something horrible happens. A semi driving the other way veers into their lane and plows through the bikers. 90 of them die. The surviving 10 are wounded, but survive. They don't stop, though. They keep riding down that highway, and eventually they'd gone 10,000 miles. Then suddenly, something happens that they couldn't have predicted. S, who had survived, suddenly has his consciousness thrown back in time. He ends up back in his own body just before they reach the junction. He remembers everything. So what does S do? What anybody would do. Let's go northeast. That means all 100 of the bikers survive to reach their destination, happy and healthy. And they all live happily ever after. That's what you're thinking, right? It's a great outcome for the 100 bikers that went northeast. But what about the 10 that went northwest and survived the accident?
But if his consciousness jumped through the same timeline, back on the same timeline, then they never existed. Isn't that the case? Or is he saying that he jumped, like, between different dimensions or alternate histories?
Huh? Wouldn't it be 9 people? I mean, S's mind went back in time, right?
Right.
Thanks, Quark, for pointing out the one irrelevant inconsistency in his story.
Okay, 9 people then. What happens to the reality they were living? Does it just disappear when S changes the past? It's not as if it was only bad things that happened during that 10,000-mile trip.
I'm always on the wrong... Oh my god, fuck you guys. I'm always stuck. Fine, whatever. I'm wrong, whatever. You guys are just gonna pretend like I didn't just, like, bust this whole thing wide open. Whatever.
Maybe one of them fell in love with a woman working at a gas station they stopped at and had a child. Maybe one of them picked up a homeless kid who joined them on their adventure.
Named Quark?
That 10,000-mile journey would be full of stories. Friendships, farewells, romances. The loss of those 90 lives is horrible and unfortunate. But what would rewriting their history mean? The 9 who survived lived full lives. How can it be right to just erase all that?
But there is no right and wrong. There is no right and wrong. There's just shit that happens, and you gotta deal with it.
The survivors overcame their own misery and loss.
Because in your
and
story,
made the best they could of the hand they'd been dealt.
yeah, but they also lived full lives. Supposedly, they also lived full lives when the other 90 survived. So what does that even matter?
Isn't that worth something? Isn't that the best thing that humans can aspire to?
How? You're looking at it very subjectively, Tomioji.
Is there really any point to a world where everything is happy?
Yes.
Are people who struggle for a better life just idiots?
Well, no, but that's completely different things. I was just thinking about this today. That like I read a quote or something about someone saying, like, what would be the point of life if we just get whatever we wanted? Life is about, like, you know, overcoming struggles. And I was like, no. Like, we don't know. We don't know what it's like to live in a utopia. That whole concept that, like, a utopia would be boring, and that if we got whatever we wanted, we would always be happy. We would be, I don't know, bored or whatever. It already happened, so obviously it's not going to change. Well, yeah, I agree with that. That's exactly what I'm saying. Why are they even trying? If it obviously already, it could be that Sigma is the one who, like, tries to break the loop then. Because it seems right now they're stuck in a loop where they keep trying to go back to change the past but fail and just, like, recreate the same thing over and over again. So it could be that this Sigma is the one that tries to, like, break the loop out of that and actually make a change. But they're not talking about it like that. They're talking like it's already been, like it already happened in the future. This is weird to, like, phrase, but they're talking as if Sigma in the future already saved them, but for some reason it didn't, like, retcon.
Being human is about fighting, even when it seems hopeless, and finding happiness, even in a world that hates it. Are you saying that's worthless? If you're saying rewriting the past will erase all these other timelines, then whatever God wrote those rules can Look, I'm just not going to accept that, alright?
Fine, dude. You accept... You do you.
You get it?
If you want to go back to Earth, do it.
If Sigma changes the past, then you and Quark will never meet.
Is he right?
No, it's not going to happen. We're here right now. This is reality.
No, but you know he's right, Tomioji.
Even if Sigma does change the past, we're not just gonna disappear or something.
So if I'm understanding this right, what Tomioji is saying, that if Sigma succeeds in changing the past, it's just gonna cause... It's not gonna change anything for the people who already lived the catastrophe. It's just gonna create a new timeline, and the only people it's gonna save is himself and maybe Fi and Akane. So, time paradox. So all they're doing really is just, like, creating all of this, you know, all these other timelines and dimensions or alternate histories. Well, the way the conversation of possibilities and probability was sort of important. I'm still not like, you know, completely sure of that conversation either. Himself and everyone else on that timeline. Well, yes, himself and everyone else on that timeline, but it's still like different people when you think about it that way. It means that they created suffering for no other reason, or you know what? He's creating the possibility of a universe where humanity is saved and making it probable. Well, we're just gonna jump. If I'm gonna get into that, we're just gonna jump right back into the whole thing of where I think that infinity includes all possibilities. That an infinite number of universes, by definition, would have to accommodate for, like, all different possibilities, because it's infinite. But I understand that I'm probably wrong in that, and we're not gonna start that conversation again. I know, Gecko. People keep saying that. I can't understand why I'm wrong. Everybody tells me I'm wrong, but I can't see it. Oh, he doesn't want to save people? He wants to save himself, right? This is what this is all about. Oh, well, that's something I could get behind, Gecko. China did something wrong? What's that, Chairs? Anyhow.
Oh! Then that means we get to stay together? Good.
Thanks, kid.
I understand how you feel. Why you want to return to Earth is clear. You have lives there, I imagine. There are likely people waiting for you.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Have you already said goodbye to the others?
I mean, I guess this is as plausible as whatever I have in mind because it's all theoretical and we don't actually know this. But the way I'm used to look at these things is that infinity means that because infinity is, you know, it goes on forever and there are literally endless possibilities, then it has to accommodate for all the possibilities. Organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners in China. I'll read on... Wow. That kind of sounds wrong, Chairs. I think I'll read on that later. But yeah, that definitely sounds wrong.
Bye, Luna, Alice, and Clover all saw us off. We told them we'd see them again someday, and then came here.
They were the only people you want to say goodbye to?
Remember, not all infinities are the same. Yes, I remember you saying that. Again, we're getting back into that loop, and I don't want to get back to that on stream. It's a fascinating conversation, as much as it's making my head hurt. I think it's fascinating, but it's not... I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. I'm already, like, talking too much, maybe. Not all infinites.
No point saying anything to Dio.
Besides, he's asleep.
You could just, like, give him a little kick or something. Just hard enough so it'll hurt when he wakes up and he doesn't know why.
You were asleep too.
Sorry, but we didn't really know much about you.
You have a point. Akane was in the armor in this timeline, after all. What about Sigma?
Well, he's not really Mr. Sigma anymore.
Of course. He is Dr. Klein now that his consciousness has returned.
Yeah, but more importantly, he's the guy who brought us all here.
Yeah, and he's the guy who's responsible of, like, you know, a number of deaths and lots of suffering just to save... well, again, it's all supposed. I guess that if you guys are right, it maybe makes up for all of this. It means that he, like, sacrificed a number of people to save the entirety of humanity. Not just Earth, but all of humanity and all future generations of humanity. Which is admirable, but if I'm right, which of course you guys think I'm not, but I still can't see why, he didn't do anything, he just saved himself. Because I still see a difference, like, between the Sigma... between different versions of the same people. That means that Sigma Phi and... Sigma and maybe Phi and Akane are the only people... are the only consciousnesses from the timeline where Radical 6 had annihilated humanity that survived on in a happier, more healthy Earth. And that seems kind of selfish. Because it's kind of like, well, I'm not going to just trust the fact that there is a universe somewhere out there where we survive. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be in it. And you have to assume that if there's an interchangeability, that, like, the consciousness of the body that they go into has to go somewhere, right? Especially if we know that in the same timeline it switches. Then between dimensions, it makes sense. Again, sense might not have anything to do with this, but it would make sense that that consciousness would also go away. So it's almost like they're going through all of this just to eject and kidnap the body of the universe where everything ended up being alright. Which is super dickish and is super selfish. But again, I keep saying that to me it seems like we're dealing with so many fucking theoreticals and rules that we can't know if they're applicable to the real world. That I guess it might as well be like the rules that this fictitious world just, like, decides for itself, like many other fictitious stories and universes. That's enough talk, let's keep going.
Not a lot of warm feelings there, you know?
It's just so tempting to start talking forever about this shit. I just love it.
And Akane?
Never mind her.
Finally! Oh my god! He's finally over her? Holy shit, you know what? This was worth it. If all of this got Junpei to, like, get over Akane, After 45 years, it was worth it.
She's just like him.
Yes, she is. She's a bitch. He's also a bitch.
Not the Akane I knew. She must have seen some pretty awful things over the years.
You might have, Suika. I'm not even sure what I'm saying anymore.
Hell, she might not even be human anymore. But the Akane Kurashiki I know isn't here.
Thank you. I felt the exact same way.
She's not anywhere.
Yeah, she's gone. And it sucks, but at least you're over her, man.
In the end, Clover and I were just pawns. Pawns to be used and then gotten rid of.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, people are starting to see things my way.
Still, it's not like we're completely resentful.
Fuck right off with that, Gecko. Just fuck right off.
We had to be here to help change the past.
Othello is the game of the devil.
That part's easy to understand. But
Kinda sucks, though.
I know,
I
right?
mean, Sigma and Phi have it easy. They get to go back to December 25th in 2028.
Well, it's not that they have it easy. They're the only ones out of you to, like, reap the rewards of all of this.
They'll stop the Radical Six and save the world, and then they'll have a nice, normal future to look forward to.
Exactly.
In other words, they get to go back to Point E and just enjoy history like it was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
But we don't. We're stuck with Point C as our starting point.
You told us about Ten Myoji's story, right? The one with the motorcycles? It would be like if Alice and I were kidnapped right before the intersection. Then whoever grabbed us takes us to wherever the bikers are going, 10,000 miles to the northwest.
Don't get us wrong. We know why we had to be here. Without us, S's consciousness wouldn't have been able to go back to right before the intersection.
If that couldn't happen, then the fate of those 90 dead bikers would be sealed. But
It's still not the best situation for those of us left in the Northwest.
Exactly.
We're stuck in the reality where the 90 bikers died.
It's not just that. It would be like It's just the difference between, you know, those survivors and the one leader of the biker gang who got sent back and got to live the other life. It's like he abandoned them. Burned to die, world is... Yeah, that's true, Gecko, that's true. But they were used, and it would be different if, like, Sigma and Phi and Akane would stay in this universe, in this timeline, just knowing that there is another timeline where everybody survived, and they did it for them. It would be very altruistic and self-sacrifice, but they didn't do that. They didn't sacrifice themselves. They sacrificed other people so that they themselves could get to live that better future. And that's super dickish.
are we just supposed to go live on Earth? It's a wasteland now. And what about our friends and families? We left a whole world behind 45 years ago.
Exactly. What happened to Clover's brother? Is he dead? We don't know. He probably thinks she's dead, and he was awesome. He was an awesome dude. He doesn't deserve that shit.
Even if it is for the greater good?
It just doesn't seem fair, does it?
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
Again, especially because they didn't get to choose this. They didn't volunteer for this. Again, the world is like this. I'm not saying it's not. This can't be ideal, and it shouldn't be. It's just like, why are they doing... I guess they're still in shock, but eventually, for the wrong reasons, it's kind of hard not to side with, you know, the Myrmidons. Just because, you know, fuck Sigma and Akane for doing that. I would be super pissed if I was in Alice or Clover's shoes.
So we went and talked to the old lady.
She told us that there is one way.
One way we could get back to the past.
A magical portal in time?
Let's say you do
Made by
go
a
back
coup?
to the past. Wouldn't that cause your minds to get thrown back here? That seemed to be how Sigma and Phi's jumps worked, at least.
Yes, you're right.
But this is different.
Different. How so?
From what she said, it sounds like there's a way we can send our bodies back in time too.
It's ridiculous. It would create a paradox. How could you have two Clovers and two Alices at the same time?
But that wouldn't happen.
Akane says there's a way around that.
Yeah, that's why I said the wrong reasons, Meatwagon, because obviously they have a different thing in mind. They're completely crazy. So it would make you side with them for the wrong reasons, but... Well, I guess maybe it's shades of grey, which is also cool. No one here is really that fucking good or altruistic. People are just people in the end.
How on earth does she plan to do that?
Schrodinger's?
Cat.
Please explain.
Oh, hey,
Oh.
Kyle.
Okay, Phi. So wait, which consciousness of Phi am I talking to right now? What has she been through?
Figured you'd come here eventually.
Where's Dr. Klein? Luna said you were with him.
He said he was tired, so he's off resting right now. There's a bedroom at the end of the hallway. He's in there if you're curious. Oh, right. He told me to turn on this hologram projector thing when you showed up. Want me to start it?
Sure.
Glad to see you. There isn't anything in particular that I have to tell you. However, I imagine there are a great number of things weighing on your mind. I'd love to answer all your questions, but unfortunately, my circumstances make that an impossibility. I hope you can forgive me. Everything I know, Phi should also know. I have instructed her to answer any questions anyone might have. Anyone other than Kyle, that is.
What do you mean, Chairs? Who switched?
What does he mean, other than Kyle?
Who knows? Is there anything you want to ask?
Right, well... I guess I may as well cut to the chase.
Sigma account? No, we don't know for sure, but it seems, from the way it was written, it seems that we're in a non-canon version where, like, what if Sigma's consciousness jumped into K's body? And we're using that what if universe to get some closure. Because we can assume that just about the same things happened in our canon timeline, just without Sigma's consciousness to witness them. Like, he's not really affecting anything here. We would assume that regular K would see the same hologram as we did just now, that Tenmyouji and Quark would still go back to Earth. So it's just, I think it's just a way for the developer to let us know what happened without fucking up the entire, like, Sigma's entire plan.
Just who are you, Phi?
Oh, there we go. That's something I want to know.
I'm not Superman, that's for sure.
Are you Batman?
And I'm not Batman or Spider-Man or Aquaman or a Merman or a Wolfman. I'm not a Brahmin or Common or Ramen. I'm not a Cayman either, so you really don't need to worry about anything.
Did we just, like, cross into a Dr. Seuss book?
Please don't dodge the question. About 5 hours ago, Akane attacked you with a knife. That triggered something which sent your mind back to the past, correct?
Yeah, no, that consciousness is
Specifically,
sleeping.
you were sent to Point D, April 13th, 2029. On that date, your body was already in Akane's custody. Although by then you were in cold sleep. You wouldn't have regained consciousness, but your mind was now inhabiting that body. That pod was your home for 45 years. You slept there, frozen, until the time was right. Then on January 25th, 2074, you were finally thawed out, even though you didn't wake up.
Yes, it is Super Drops. It was actually released even before this. I think it was released for PC first, then they decided to do a little bundle of 999 and VLR together for PC.
Still unconscious, you were carried to the AB room. That was when your consciousness changed bodies again. A version of you from December 25th, 2028 arrived, pushing you out. And sending you back to December 25th, 2028. This is when you finally woke up. In 2028, you found and joined forces with Sigma, whose older mind was inhabiting his younger body. together you attempted to infiltrate the Mars mission test facility. Unfortunately, your plan failed. The Radical Six did escape on New Year's Eve. That failure determined the path you followed. Instead of going along the line that branches out to the right from point E, you headed straight to point D.
Yeah.
Point D being April 13th of the following year. That was the day that you made your way to Akane's hideout and asked to be put into one of the treatment pods. Another consciousness enters your body around that time from the future. It is, of course, the version of you that left your body when Akane attacked you in the garden. This caused the two versions of you to swap places. And you moved 45 years into the future, where you woke up on the garden floor.
And that's where we're talking right now. So she knows everything, so this consciousness has actually been through everything already.
That put you on the line that comes here. So if we discount the time you spent in cold sleep, for you only 3.5 months have passed since that happened. That being when you were sent back into the past from the garden. Have I missed anything?
No, everything you talked about you got right.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I'm kind of an unknown variable in this equation. You could think of me as a kind of X factor.
You can't fight. It's not cool when you say that kind of stuff about yourself. You can't have people ask. You can't ask people to call you an X factor.
It's taken me the last 3.5 months to understand it.
I haven't understood anything in the last 3.5 seconds. Could you please explain?
It's kind of like the relationship between classical mechanics and modern physics. Strictly speaking, you can't combine velocities with v1 plus v2.
Oh my god. How are they gonna make this even more complex? You need to explain something. You can't just like add more physics and shit.
v1 plus v2 divided by 1 plus v1 times v2 over c squared is the actual equation. Of course, the sort of velocities we encounter in day-to-day life don't come close to being c squared, which is the speed of light squared. That means that 1 plus v1 times v2 divided by c squared is usually going to evaluate to something pretty close to 1.
Speak English, please.
Since that would mean dividing by 1, it's usually okay
No math,
to just skip that step
speak.
and use v1 plus v2.
No, she's
You
just.
see what I'm saying?
No, you're just stalling.
In most situations, it works, even if it isn't technically correct. So you knew enough to get the stuff you were talking about right. As long as you stick to that, you won't run into any problems.
I don't quite understand. In fact, I feel like you're dodging my questions.
So was that what
Exactly.
you wanted to ask about?
No. What I really want to know is what happened between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028.
Well, that too. I want to know two things. I want to know exactly what happened there. So when we get back, no, that's actually in this town. That's not going to happen. But whatever. I want to know what happens, but I guess that's not going to happen because we're going to find that in Zero Time Dilemma. But I want to know who the fuck is Phi. Just tell us. Where did you grow up? Why did you get there? What happened?
You and Sigma infiltrated the Mars mission test site, didn't you?
Oh, kind of like the pancreas, Suika?
Yes.
What happened there? How did Sigma lose his eye and both his arms?
He saved someone from dying.
And why was Radical 6 in there in the first place? What could a deadly virus have to do with the simulated mission to space?
Obviously, it was something by, I don't know, Free the Soul, trying to do some conspiracy.
Sorry, but I can't tell you that.
Why?
Because it would change history.
But isn't that exactly what you want, though? Didn't you fail? Don't you want to change history?
There is a history where the virus didn't escape. That's the line that goes to the right of point E. In that timeline, humanity isn't heading for annihilation, and Earth isn't red.
How do you know that exists, though?
The future is much brighter. But if I tell you what you're asking me right now,
Because it would spoil the
then that
sequel.
reality will disappear.
Fine, whatever. Then how do you know that even happened? Maybe she jumped over there or something.
You understand?
No,
I don't.
thank you.
Why would all of that disappear if you told me what I want to know?
No, I know that like knowledge changes some things, but
You're about to go back to the past, right?
The past? Don't be silly. I can't do that.
well, pre-sequel, I suppose. Chairs.
Then where the hell did you learn all this stuff?
I just listened to you tell me a bunch of things you shouldn't have known about. You were sleeping in the pod in the garden. You just woke up. So how can you know all this? You know my past. Sigma's past.
I shall give you your answer.
Oh, whatever, Akane. I don't even trust anything you say. Temioji was right. She's just not human anymore. Maybe she never was, since she was kidnapped. The best, you know what? The best ending for this would be, for like this entire series, would be that at the end of Zero Time Dilemma, they go back to the past, they prevent the first Nonary game, and all of this never fucking happened. No Radical 6, no Akane, no Espers, no SOIS, no Free the Soul, no nothing.
You are not Kyle Klein. Your body is Kyle's, but your consciousness is not.
Yeah, I know that. But again, okay, so what I was saying is that unless she like went there or something, or spoke to someone from that time, or from that dimension, how does Phi know that there is another dimension as E? Maybe because they had a choice, and just the fact that there is a choice means, and they chose to fail, that means that there is another choice that caused, but she can't tell if that actually caused their mission to succeed or not. Again, because I'm going according to yours, to your guys's theory that there are different infinities. Well, I think there's just one, that infinity is infinity. Infinity includes all possibilities. Like if there are infinite possibilities, it necessarily must include all possibilities. And in that case, I would say, well, I know that somewhere out there, there's a dimension where the Earth is fine and nothing happened. But if that's not true, and we have to actively create different universes, then we can never actually know. Unless we jump there, we can never actually know what happened. But again, it's like the rules here change. It's like as they go along. How can infinity include infinity? Chairs. That's insane. Or can it? Hold on. Infinity. Shit, you might be right. But again, so, no, I'm not gonna be. That's bait. That's bait right there. I'm not gonna take that bait. Yeah, I agree that infinity can actually include infinity. Well, it doesn't necessarily. It's just because we don't know. Because we don't know what infinity is, so we're not sure what the rules are. But it could be like what I'm saying. It could be what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. It's completely theoretical. Whatever. Not gonna take the bait. Not gonna take the bait. I can do that like offline, but we need to try and finish this game today. I can do that. We can talk on Discord later and try to understand this shit, but not right now. I'm not. That's bait. I'm not gonna fall for it.
Think about it. Do you really believe you're Kyle? Or could you be someone else entirely?
Then, where is the real Kyle's consciousness?
He was thrown out when you entered.
Okay, I was also talking about this. What happens to consciousnesses that are thrown out like that?
Right now, in a manner of speaking, he has arrived at December 25th, 2028.
Okay.
His consciousness has gone into a body from that time.
Yeah, she didn't say Gecko. She just talked for a bunch and stalled for time, and it worked, sadly.
I doubt you know how much the doctor loves Kyle. He raised him on his own. Kyle is irreplaceable. Do you really think he would go back to the past and leave Kyle behind here? I know what I told the others. That Kyle was Dr. Klime's spare. But that was not his only purpose.
Yeah, I agree with Gogolfin drops here. I don't believe for a second what she's saying.
Kyle's consciousness is integral to what we are trying to accomplish. This new mission begins on Christmas and ends on New Year's Eve 2028. Its purpose will be to infiltrate the test facility and prevent the spread of the virus. For this to happen, Kyle is absolutely necessary.
I wonder if this is actually like stuff that happens in Zero Time Dilemma.
And that is why he created him?
Yes.
So now that my consciousness has entered his body, the Doctor has achieved his objective. Kyle has gone back to 2028 to participate in his mission.
Correct.
There's one thing that troubles me. Kyle was created before reaching point B from point D. That means his body did not exist on Christmas in 2028. Does that mean he has entered my body? Have we just switched places?
Probably.
I suppose you could put it that way, yes.
That's ridiculous. What's going to happen to me? You telling me I have to spend the rest of my life here in this box, living in a borrowed body?
No, not at all.
No, it's just gonna be a while until Sigma jumps back, wouldn't it?
You can travel freely through time and space. You are an uncontrolled variable that entered our closed system. As such, the rules of this world do not apply to you.
I'm not sure what that means.
I have no idea what...
Please don't try to play dumb. I know what you are. Surely you must know by now, too.
Breaking fourth wall?
You are about to go into the past and save the world. Phi and Sigma, even with all of his future knowledge, will need your help.
Who is she talking to me, the player, right now? I'm not sure.
Only you can right the horrible wrongs of our past. Only you can save the world.
There's no way I...
Because she said Phi and Sigma, but he's supposed to be Sigma, and she knows it, right? Or, I don't know.
Yes, there is. You have to. Don't you want to know the truth? Don't you want to know what happened in between Christmas and New Year's Eve in 2028?
Then buy the game!
Well, yes, I do.
Buy the pre-sequel!
Then you must believe.
Believe. With your wallet.
Reality is shaped by what we believe reality should be. If observation can change the motion of a particle, then how is it odd to think that human thought can shape reality? Your will can change history. The world will be reshaped into the one you imagine.
What's this hippy-dippy bullshit, Akane? Come on, I thought you were a scientist of sorts.
Remember what I've told you. Only you can change history. Only you can save the world.
Again, I kind of had the vibe as in, like, you know, an Assassin's Creed alternative end. Okay. That was weird, but kind of cool in a sense. So that's it. That's the secret ending. These are all... I officially have seen everything this game has to offer. Wow, holy shit. Yeah, seems like it. Oh, that's young Akane. Or rather, adult Akane. Interesting. So that was... Okay, so that was the secret ending that I got from getting all the golden files, right? 64 hours, yeah. Well, you know, to be honest, to be fair, I made it a bit longer than it had to be, but still. Let me just do one last thing before we sign off then. Since it's only, we got like a half hour left, I guess there's not much point in like starting something new until then. Reminder that now, though, we're going to translate the message now, I think. We're going to translate the message now, but then, and after that, I think I'm going to sign off. So this is the very last time you guys can vote on the poll and choose what game I'm going to stream tomorrow and over the following weeks. It's probably going to be one of the Suda51 games, but if all of you really want a different game, it could also be that. Fourth wall break at the end there was a lot more obvious in the German localization. Oh, really? Well, yeah, probably because of, like, you know, language stuff. And yeah, I was right. It was a fourth wall break, right? It felt like that. That's a new record. Fuck off, Gecko. Yes, thank you, Wada. You can also get the poll on Twitch, of course, by in Twitch chat by typing !poll, and you'll get the link. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Cheers. So, okay, let's go back and try to look at what I had written there. I think it should be over here. I think my memos are still the same. Yeah, okay. So, so yeah, this is the last time you guys can affect the poll before I look at it, before I look at the result. So, okay, let's see. English is kind of hard, but let's do this. So, see, we know that this is Myrmidons. 3 is Myrmidons. We already know that. Test all your energy. I wanted, well, yeah, test is a different thing. I'm trying to see if, never mind. Admin stuff for me. So, C, A, B, C, D, F, G, Q, R. Z, I'm guessing it's A. No, I'm already wrong. Or maybe not. Cra, S, H, crash. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to ask you to do, Suika, later. Basically because he said, well, I checked it. I made tests and I tried to vote for it several times and it did let me vote, but it just didn't count the votes. Oh, hey, John Madden. Great to see you, man. I'm just about to sign off soon, but still. Anyhow, Suika, I tried to see that, so I couldn't affect it, even though I tried from different computers. Like, as long as it was the same IP, I could vote, but it just didn't count the votes. So if you could later, I'll see what's the number of votes on test, and then I'm going to ask you to do that because you said that you might be able to affect it to vote several times, and then I'll see if the vote number is actually affected without changing the outcome of the other results. If that's okay, Suika. No, I did not try 24 hours of difference. I guess I could do that tomorrow. But just the fact, but if you voted like in the last couple of days, it doesn't have to be 24 hours. It could also be just the last couple of days. Like if you did, I know, we'll see. I'll check it out tomorrow though, I suppose, because I only got a chance to do today. Anyhow, what's after J? K. Crash. K. Y. Crash key. S. Crash keys. You voted every 24 hours. Did you vote yesterday though, or like 2 days ago, Suika? Because if right now you can vote for test and actually affect it, that would prove that there's a difference. So I'm just kind of trying to understand like their mechanism and how it works on that website. Okay, F, I guess. What's after Q, R? D. Free? Is it gonna be free? Yeah, free. Z. Freeze? No, what's after R? S. O. U. Freeze the soul, I'm guessing. Crash. Keys. What? Is this supposed to be like a long sentence at the end or something? I'm not sure. I didn't check today, but the votes are higher than yesterday on my choices. It could have been someone else voting for them, but all 4 of them have risen consistently to the top. Well, I'd rather, if you don't mind, rather we like check it tomorrow or something. Freezy Soul. Crash Keys, Freezy Soul, Myrmidons. I'm guessing these are just like, they're not supposed to form a thing. It's just like little Easter eggs then? Do they all mean different things? M. What's the after X again? Y. B. What's after Q? R. O. T. Mib. What? Am I doing this one wrong? Yeah, my question is though, chairs, if they have like I'm supposed to combine them. My brother? Oh shit, you're right. It doesn't seem like they all mean something. I don't see a spoiler here either, not that I can tell. Yeah, it seems to be my brother, Crash Keys, Free the Soul, Myrmidons. It seems to be like different things. But cute, like it is cute. It is pretty cool. These are some pretty cool Easter eggs, I'll agree. That's nice. So, is that it then? Macho Madness. Brother. My brother, Crash Keys, Freeze a Soul, Myrmidons. Yeah, not really meaning anything. It's just cool. I'm not sure what Crash Keys is supposed to mean either. But it's kind of cute. A few of these you only get in Japanese. Oh, okay. Maybe it's supposed to mean something else in Japanese then. Freeze Solu. My brother. Crash Kizu. Freeze Solu. Myrmidonu. Oh, Kurashiki. Oh, that's cute too, I guess. That's nice. Okay, so I guess that's it. I guess that's all I gotta say. I guess that's the ending of the game. It's kind of weird going through all those credit sequences and not, and then this is the ending. Just looking at this after all of that. So I guess that's it. I guess it's time for my well, I got 26 minutes to do my ending monologue, but I'm not gonna use all of them, obviously. So as usual, thank you guys for watching. I think this has been the longest game I streamed so far. I don't think I've ever done this many streams for a single game. So thank you guys for sticking around with me for that. Of course, I had a great time with you guys around. Thank you guys so much for all the help, especially on the puzzles, but also on the philosophy stuff, helping me understand some of this more complicated shit. One RPG on DS that you can't remember the name of at the moment. Okay. Dojo. And what is the next game? I don't know, John, man. Wada actually posted the link to my poll above, upwards in chat. You can choose right now what game you could vote in that poll, what game I'm going to play after this. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be Michigan Report from Hell. Seems to me. If I have the time, I'm gonna learn about set theory and numbers theory maybe one day. I'm not sure if my brain can actually handle that, especially at the moment. But honestly, I just really want to thank you guys for sticking around for all of these streams. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been a lot of fun with you guys around. I really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed this game too throughout. It really grabbed me. I gotta say the ending, maybe it's just because I couldn't understand it so well. But I gotta say, I enjoyed, even though I enjoyed in general this game better than 999, I think I like 999's ending better just because even though there were still a lot of unanswered questions, I had a better understanding overall, I think, of what the story was. And it had a bit more of a closed ending than this one has. So I think I enjoyed that ending a little bit more just because like we knew in the end that okay, so there was an earlier Nonary game, we know who was there, we know what happened, we know why this game happened. Right now we have sort of an understanding, but we don't really know. Oh, when does the voting close? And the game decides. And when the game is decided, when I finish the stream. That's when I finish the stream, I go look at the poll, and the game that's up there is the one that that's going to be played tomorrow. Again, okay, so like I said, I'll be back tomorrow, same time as today. Playing, we'll see, but it sounds like it's probably going to be Michigan Report from Hell. Should be fun. And hopefully I'll have the time to like set everything up with no trouble. What else? What else? I think that's it. If you enjoyed the stream and you want to watch me play some Michigan Report from Hell or anything else, make sure to follow me on Twitch or YouTube to watch my past broadcasts, and Twitch, Twitter, and Steam to get notifications whenever I start to stream or if there's a change in schedule. And I guess all in on test, I bet, Gecko. And I think that's it. So again, hope you enjoyed, guys. Hope you guys had fun with this game and with my frustration around it and heartbreak and all of that around it. It was a very, very special game. Highly recommend it to everyone who enjoys virtual novels or, well, basically virtual novels. The puzzles here aren't, I don't think they'll fit for a puzzle lover, really. This isn't Layton, but as a virtual novel, it's a very good one, especially if people like Animu virtual novels, which I think is most of them. So that's it. I'm rambling now, and as much as I love to ramble, you guys probably have some APs to watch, and maybe someone feels like taking up the stream on Safety Cheers. We'll see. And that's it. So hopefully I'll see all of you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have fun with the next game as much as we had this one. Oh, did I say virtual? I meant visual. My bad. Anyhow. Yeah, exactly. Me wagon. You get me. So that's it. See you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. And Marco.